Welcome back to the podcast. Today is going to be a fun episode for us. Last night, Marley and I were chatting in Voxer like we do most most evenings, and something came up for Marley that is consistently recently coming up for our clients, even some women that come to the sip and pitch on Wednesdays. So we wanted to talk about it today, openly, transparently, because this is a situation that happened to me multiple times last year. This is a crossroads that I came to at least 3 times in 2022. Um, our clients are feeling like they're coming to this crossroads a lot recently, and this is something that honestly will come up for you again and again at different points of your business, at different levels that you get to your business. So I'm going to kick it over to Marley, and I want her to tell her version of what was coming up for her last night, and then we're just gonna step by step walk you through how I coached her and how Marley coached me through this last year, because you need someone sometimes to just help you take a step back and look at the big picture, look at what I always say, the bird's eye view. So Marley felt like last night she was in her business with a microscope, like looking at all the tiny little details. And what we had to do was pull her up to big picture view, bird's eye view. Okay, now how does that feel? And so, Marley, will you just tell us what happened last night?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just so funny. Like, I think that the reason we wanted to share this today, I literally said the words to Becca. I think I messaged her this big long message in Boxer. Then I was like, I think I feel lost. And the funny part about that and why we wanted to bring this up today is because I literally coached somebody almost on the same thing earlier yesterday.
Mhm.
And the day before and the day before and the day before. Like, it's such a common topic coming up. And I want to just normalize this because, like, we've had so many conversations about this lately, that if you think your coach isn't going to her coach about like a lot of the same stuff that you're going through, she is, or he is. Like, these are normal things to go through in business, normal questions, normal feelings. The difference about where I'm at and Becca's at now versus when we were brand new is that we would have felt, and then, it might have lasted weeks and weeks, or it might have been a little bit more of an emotional roller coaster. Whereas we can just be open about, like, I think I'm stuck here, and okay, this is a block. I need some support. And then we know how to work through it much faster. And that is what comes with just experience and confidence in what you're doing, and having somebody in your corner, having a coach, having somebody who's been there. So what happened is basically, I know that when you're in a season of transition in your business, it can feel like all of a sudden you're a little stagnant. All of a sudden you start going, how did I get here? Like, I thought I was on this really solid plan. Like, I had a plan. I've been following it. I'm in action. How did I get here all of a sudden? And it almost feels like you're going backwards. And it's frustrating because you're like, man, I thought I was through all this. And then you hit a new edge and a new level of, edge of your comfort zone. You hit a new season of transition. You hit a new point in your business where now you've got to learn to pivot again to be able to get through that and scale to that next mark on the journey. And so I'm going to come back to how we coach me through it and how we coach our clients through this. But I want to share with you a little bit about my product suite evolution. And I think, Becca, you can do the same, because that is actually what led me to that place last night where I went, I'm feeling a little stuck. And it was just like a lack of awareness that I had actually arrived at the place that I had been working for the last year and a half to get to. And I didn't quite realize. So I want to share, I spent all of January, a lot of last year, at the end of the last year, we were really focusing on, okay, what do we want in 2023? And so January was the month of visibility and community building. And like, that was the plan. In January, we launched the podcast. We started our community networking calls. We started doing more in our Facebook communities, showing up more consistently on social media. Like, all the things are leveraged. I'm on TikTok now. Like, there's so much more going on. Visibility, implemented it, been consistent with it, no matter what energy. And it's just been a lot of fun to see that unfolding and how it's growing. then in February, the goal for me was to focus on back end schedule systems with my team so that I could work less, work smarter, and get to a place that for March 1st, I could actually work a 2 to 3 hour workday or a half day. And that has been my goal because I love working. I love working a long day. I don't want to stop working, but I also know that's not the vision that I have for my life and my family. And so I know I can get more done in less time. And
Mhm.
that's what my team and I did. And on February 28th, I worked my first half day. So I beat the goal. And then March 1st hit. And I went, okay, so I want to figure out what I want to sell next. I'm working these, like I'm going to work less now. And it was like March hit. And I guess in my mind, all 2023, I've been focused on these goals that I had for January, February. And in March, I think my goal was like, I'll work half days. But that was February's intention. And that isn't actually a goal. That's just a reality. And I didn't really realize that I didn't have a goal for March. And I had a lot of ideas for offers that I wanted to do next. And I was just messaging you, like, I think it's going to be this one. And then that, and I was just swirling with all of these ideas on what I wanted next. And I didn't realize just how much I was missing some clarity there. So if I can go back a minute, when I started my business, I had one-on-one coaching. I shifted into a group coaching program that was a 6-month program, and then pretty quickly realized that I actually wanted to create some niche down courses versus teaching all the things in one big program for the benefit of my clients. I knew that if I could just have one offer on how to create offers and then one course on content, and those foundational things in my product suite, it would allow me to work smarter with my private clients and with my future mastermind and with all of the bigger picture offers that I really wanted to create. I knew I wanted to spend some time taking clients through these more niche down courses so that I would have those foundationally to build upon later. And I didn't realize on March 1st that I have done that. And I don't actually want to create more micro courses anymore. I want to teach on a lot of topics that I have all these beautiful ideas for, but not in the form of micro courses or any sort of course at this point. And that is what we realized last night when we were chatting about what do I really want. And I know, Becca, maybe you can share a little bit about your evolution, and then we'll share how we actually coached me to that point of like getting really honest and reflecting on, okay, well, what do you want for this month? What do you want to sell?
I started also with one-on-one. I think I launched my business on Black Friday of 2020. Um, yeah, I offered Black Friday deals. Like that was it. I had never offered anything before, and I was like, "We're just gonna do it and see what happens." I got 3 clients. One of them is a dear friend of mine still to this day. Um, I went. I did one-on-one coaching probably for 6 months, just one-on-one coaching, and then I realized there was this issue or this gap in the industry. Nobody was talking about business finances. Nobody was talking about what to do, how to set it up, how to think about it, all of those things. So I thought, "Oh, good. I'll do a group course." So that was Mind Her Business was born. Um, I ran several rounds of that, like 2 or 3, I think, and each time it was different. Each time it was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make it this way. I'm gonna teach about this and add this to it," right? Or, "This time it's gonna be money and business," and it was just like, I would try these things and nothing felt perfect. I know it's not always going to be perfect or ever be perfect, but nothing felt like it quite fit. And so I was doing one-on-one coaching, I was doing the group, and then I thought, okay, well, everybody's doing these micro offers. Maybe that's what my clients need. Maybe they need like one small course on debt payoff or a small course on um I don't know, like how to talk to your kids about money. So I started planning all of these things, and I realized way into this, like way down the road, that I was like miserable, miserable planning these things and figuring out when I was going to launch them. So every week I was like, yes, I'm going to launch it this week. And it never happened. And I couldn't figure out, like, why can't I get into this launch? And like Marley and I will talk about how we coach each other through this, along with which coaches we have like in our corner at the time. But I just remember going, I don't want to do micro offers at all. I don't think they serve me. I don't think they serve my client, and that's okay. And when I came to that realization, it was like somebody, when the bull is in the pen and it's like it's dying to get out, just open the gate. It felt like somebody opened the gate for me finally, and I was free to just run business the way that I really wanted to, which is mind her business. I have one-on-one and I have mind her business. And I'm so happy with that because my clients are served so well in each of those containers and in each of those ways with me. And that is what I needed. I needed the freedom to be like, I shut down me. You guys, I told you, I mute people like I get paid. Like, shut down social media, put the blinders on. How do you actually want to run this business? Well, I want mind her business. I want my group. I want to support them that way. And so when I came to that crossroads, it was like, got it. Like, unleash me. I'm ready to go. And it almost felt like things just fell into place. People say, okay, it's not always easy, right? Like, I still have really hard days. I still have days where I'm like, Marley, I quit. But it felt easier. I didn't feel like I was fighting myself all the time, and that's what's hard when you're fighting yourself constantly. Um, so last night, Marley kind of came to that same crossroads. Like, I've been doing this, I've been wanting to do this, and what we realized is she had done all of the things that she'd been wanting to do, and she was ready to start the thing that she's been dying to start for a year, and it kind of snuck up on us like, oh shoot,
Yeah.
ready, like,
Yeah.
here we are.
Yeah, and I think what I even said to you last night was, okay, I was having a really scary moment of like, uh-oh, where am I? What am I doing? Where am I going? How did I get here all of a sudden? And then it was like, wait, this isn't a problem that we need to solve. This isn't a crisis in my business. Like, none of those things, even though it can kind of feel like that. It was actually like, wow, this is a really exciting transitional stage where now that I've built that foundational thing that I set out to do and it just snuck up on me, which is so funny because like I'm such a planner. But it snuck up on me, and then I get to look at it now like, whoa, I'm here. And now if I could do anything in my business, now that I have that foundation built that I wanted, and my schedule is like so buttoned up, and my team and my processes and my systems, like everything is here, my visibility, my community building, like it's all happening, and I'm here. And now what do I want to do? If my business was just like, my hobby at this point, because it's so successful and it's so fun and it's so easy and it just flows, and I'm totally taken care of at home and with my family, and I just get to do something that I want to do because it's fun to me and it's a hobby. What is that next thing? And like, that is how we need to look at our businesses. That's how we need to make decisions, from that place of what would feel light and what would energize you and what would excite you and what would feel good and feel easy. What would excite you to wake up in the morning knowing that you get to run your business in that way. And I know that my goal has been to get to a place where I'm selling into my mastermind. And that is the main thing that I'm selling people into, unless they make sense for private coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And have all of these foundational courses for my clients to go through if they really just, want that, versus the experience of being mentored and coached. And so I'm at that place, and now I get to step into that. And I guess I just was thinking it was more down the road this year. But when I, stepped back, bird's eye viewed it, got out a good old piece of paper and pen versus, sitting on my computer, and just got honest with myself, it was like, wow, I actually have arrived at this place a lot faster than I realized. And that's a really, really exciting place to be. So it went from, to, wait, this is exactly what I wanted. And it's just a perspective shift more often than not. It's the stories we're carrying in our head that make it feel hard and feel scary. And we are always just a decision away from that next place that we want to go. And our minds are so powerful. Our mindset is so powerful, and it has the power to make you feel confident, and it has the power to serve you. It also has the power to halt you, slow you down. And that was just that shift last night in our conversation allowed me to shift into like, whoa, this is really exciting.
I think the freedom that you felt caught you off guard because you've been so head down with your systems and your back end and your process, like
I've
your
been on a mission in 2023.
right, like your workflows. You wanted to make sure that your systems were tight for the influx of clients to come in, so you didn't even have to worry about that. You could just go out and do what you wanted to do, sell into your mastermind. And I think the freedom when you got there was like, ooh, wait a second, like, is this right now? Like right now, I have to start doing this now. I told Marley last night, she and I have a unique relationship where I can be like, time out, time out. I need you to like, you can recall that message if you want to, but recall it in your brain. No, you're not doing this. And I told her, I said, here's what helped me. And I don't know if this is something that will help you. I want you to close your computer. I want you to leave your phone inside. Go sit in the sun somewhere. I know you're in Canada. It's
We don't
snowing.
have that right now.
In the window, like get one of those.
Outside, I would possibly die of frostbite. So we're not doing that. But I'll go sit like a cat on the
Get a
couch.
sun lamp or sit in a window. And I said, get a notebook out and write down what it would look like if you were so happy to show up to work every day. What would that container look like? What would that program look like? Would it be a program? Is it only one-on-one coaching? Like, what is it? Because when I put down all the electronics, I shut everybody out, and I used my own voice, my own feelings. That's when this new version of Mind Her Business was born, and you literally cannot stop me from talking about this or selling this. You can't. You can try, but it's not going to happen because I'm so bought into it that nothing anybody says about it, no objection that I get is going to make me feel like it's not worth being in. And so that's the point that Marley, she was right on the edge. Like, you were right on the cliff last night. And I just wanted to just poke your shoulder and just like push you off. Like, you're there. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So it can feel really hard in transitions because you're so focused on when I get there, that when you get there, you're like, oh, this is what it looks like. Am I here?
And it's normal for business to feel hard and scary and challenging. And that is not because you're failing. That's not because you don't have a good mindset. It's not because you're doing something wrong or you don't have the right support or you don't not everything is this like big story. Sometimes it's just like, oh, this is a place that we're at because this is a normal thing to experience in business and in transition. So,
and as a human,
and as a human being. And like, that is what we wanted this message to be today of like, it's okay to feel a kind of way in your business, but your job is to be a professional problem solver and reach up to somebody that's a little bit ahead of you. We always say reach up, not out, because you want somebody that can pull you up and not sit with you in your pity party, right? We want somebody that can support you, that's been there, that gets it. And for you to be focused on how can I shift out of this, not how can I stay stuck in this pity party. Like, it's okay to have a little cry, but then, okay, now what, right? We're going to say that a lot in this podcast. Okay, now what are you going to do about it? Because you could choose to sit and pout, but that's okay. So then where's that going to take you? So I think if we can wrap this up with some beautiful questions that Becca reminded me to ask myself and that we are consistently coaching our clients through. And there's so many of you that I know are in a season of transition and you're not sure what to do next. So I want you to sit down and ask yourself some really powerful questions. And I think a few of them that you can start with are, if you could sell anything, if your business product suite looked like exactly what you hoped and dreamed it would look like, what would you sell and what would be in your product suite? Okay, so that's number one, sort of a two-part question. The second thing I would ask you to look at, because it's something that I have now taken care of last month, but, and I will say, like, we could do a whole episode on schedule, because my schedule has changed weekly for the last year and a half, but like, that's been a really good thing. It's been a ton of trial and error. I never, ever feel shameful about a lack of consistency there, because that's all about evolution. And that's how quickly my business was evolving and how quickly I was able to try things on and realize what was working and not working. And I got kids, so like the schedule's always changing. Okay. So what would your schedule look like? And then the last question I want you to just really sit with, and it's the cliche, annoying question of, who would you be? If you could show up tomorrow exactly as the person you envision yourself becoming, or the person you want to be, the person that you see in that best version of you, who would you be? Because that is the real question about who would you be, is what allows you to figure out, and what would that person do in this moment? Who would you be? How would she make decisions? Who would you be? What would they do right now? That's where you're going. That is like the North Star in business, is remembering who you want to be, and then making decisions based on how that person would show up. And that will always serve you.
It's hard. I struggle with this constantly. Like when Marley reminds me, well, who would future Becca, how would she handle this? I roll my eyes and I scoff at her and I'm like, I don't want to talk, like that's dumb. I don't want to do that.
No,
It
we're in a pity party right now. I need 5 more minutes of complaining.
excuse me, I was venting to you. I'm not looking for a solution. Um but these questions, the reason that they're powerful are because you are making sure, like, you want your brain, if your brain knew that it was supported in business, so that's your product suite, you're selling exactly what you want to be selling, you know exactly who you're selling to, like it feels fun, that's your business support system. The other question about what do you want your schedule to look like, that is your home like set up to support your business, to support you to just be free in your business. That's why those are so powerful. They are not arbitrary questions. It is to get you really focused on a solution rather than what is holding you back. Because what is holding you back will always hold you back if that's the focus. Um, yeah, I don't know. I last night was so fun coaching you through this because you've coached me through this multiple times last year, and it was fun to be on the other side of it, like, practicing, like,
You're
well,
welcome.
what would Marley say in this situation?
I love it. Well, you're welcome, for giving you that experience. And I was like, she's eager to help me. I gotta like get my like pull up my boots here, because I could feel your enjoyment of that conversation. But I love it too, because I love strategy. So
But not in a it wasn't in an enjoying the situation
no,
that
no,
Marley
no.
was in, it was
Yeah.
enjoying that I had a tool that could help her, and knowing how to use that tool was like, "Yes, like, I know exactly how to help her get out of this spiral, this mini spiral that she's in, and then we don't have to come back to this spiral until she's at a whole new level, and then it'll be even more fun." So, yeah, it was
And it's funny, because yesterday we literally had the conversation with some clients about, the solution is usually something really stupid, like something, I mean, stupid simple. It's usually something stupid simple, like really powerful questions to ask yourself, like turning off your computer and getting out a pen and paper, right?
Mhm.
Like it's never some big, grand, complicated, I need to hire some kind of crazy coach to solve this problem in this moment. It's usually something really simple. And luckily, like you and I have one another, to support through these things. But this is just normal business. So if you're in a season of transition and you're having some of those feelings of, okay, how did I get here? I'm feeling stuck. I feel like I'm going backwards. I don't know what to sell next. I don't know what to do next. It feels like nothing's working. You need somebody in your corner, and you need to learn how to ask yourself really powerful questions. And that is your homework at the end of this episode, is to grab a pen and paper, to go through that exercise, and to get honest with yourself, and remember that your business can feel fun. It can feel simple. It can feel easy when you put aside the stories that you're telling yourself, or put aside what you see everyone else doing, and come back into you, your family, your life, and what you want for your business to look and to feel like.
Let us know how it goes.